All right, let's go. How's it going? It is Friday. I know usually it's on Thursday that I come live, at least in the private Rising World community, as well as my Facebook page. Exceptionally, today I will also come live on my personal profile. Also, making sure I'm gonna make sure that the sound is good. Yeah, fine. It's a little bit blurry, isn't it? Well, the background is blurry on purpose, but my face is blurry, isn't it? Um, anyway, so let me just put that on public if I can. But let me know how's it going. What's up with you? It's been a while. Um, Edit privacy. There we go. They changed again. So it's been a while. It's been a minute, and as promised, I'm coming here 8 p.m. to have a little catch up with you to see how you're doing, and also to share some of my experience that happened over the past kind of couple of weeks where I went to my yearly 10-day silent meditation retreat. I stayed over for an extra 3 days so that I can volunteer and do some work in the center. But yeah, let me know what's up with you, where you tuning in from. Also, I want to thank those of you that actually reached out to ask if I was okay, because although I did a post before going and mentioned that we had like a last lunch with some friends making a fondue and yummy food around the table with great company, and that it was the last lunch before I went off. But some people contacted me, and some friends from communities that I'm part of as well were like, your retreat is supposed to be done by now. You should be back. Are you okay? Are you fine? So thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it. It's so heartfelt, heartwarming, and I really feel acknowledged and appreciated. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for this. And I am back. I'm here. So let's crack on. If you have any questions, let me know on meditation. That's gonna be the topic today, or meditation related to business as well. If you like, that's absolutely fine. But what is meditation first of all, right? What is it? I mean, there's, once upon a time, meditation was not part of my routine. I was clueless about what to do, how to go about it. So what is it like by the definition that we find on Wikipedia, right? And I've got a little different one. So I'm not just going to cite the meditation definition from Wikipedia. Well, I am going to, but I'm also going to give you the different definition that I have about it, which I've been practicing for a few years. So meditation is a practice where an individual uses a technique such as mindfulness or focusing the mind on a particular object, thought, or activity. That's one few things that we need to bear in mind, because that's where it differs from what I actually do. To train attention and awareness and achieve a mentally clear and emotionally calm and stable state. Meditation is practiced in numerous religious traditions, etc. Now, what is my well, not my definition, but the definition of the technique that I use, because there are like several techniques, many different meditation techniques that people uses. I actually started meditating back in 2012 or 2014, around that time anyway, when I started getting involved into personal development. And there are many different kinds of meditation. Like for example, there are body scanning, progressive relaxation. There's mindfulness meditation, when you've got to focus on something like a word, a mantra, an object, a thought, maybe something you're looking at. Breath awareness meditation, so that's usually the meditation where people are like forced breathing or breathing consciously, I would say, rather than naturally. There's the Kundalini yoga, which is a type of meditation as well. I actually did a Kundalini meditation just about this year, where it was quite transcendent, which transcendental meditation is another type of meditation, but Kundalini kind of goes into it. Like, it's about, listening to some waves and chant and musics of some sorts, and it activates your core, your yeah, the core of your being, and then it transcends you into a specific, higher level of mind state. And then there's the Zen meditation as well, and love kindness meditation that I do implement in the type of meditation that I practice myself, which is the Vipassana meditation technique. Let me know if you ever heard of that or what type of meditation you're doing. And at the end of my Vipassana meditation, I actually use the loving kindness meditation, which is also known as metta meditation, metta bhavana meditation, which is kind of like to take you to nirvana, if you may. When you really, after that well, I do an hour sitting meditation in the morning, 1 hour in the evening. And at the end of that 1 hour, when your body is really calm, your mind is soothed, it's calmed down and not agitated anymore, or at least less, then you're ready to give some love, some kindness to people, all beings in the world, your family, your friends, even your enemies. Yeah, I know that sounds that sounds weird, right? And the reason why we also give love and kindness to our enemies or people that do wrong, it's because people do wrong when they have a lot of unhappiness within themselves. They have a lot of misery, as my teacher would say. And that's why we've got to, spread some love to those people. Because if we spread some hatred, if we spread some aversion to those people that are already angry and that they are already, projecting a lot of negativity, if we're providing more of it, if we put oil on the fire, then it's not going to help. Whereas if we soothe it by putting water, taking the hose of water rather than the can of oil, that's going to help to soothe the person and perhaps also turn them into a better human being. That is why we've got to, you know, spread a bit more love and kindness rather than responding to hatred with more hatred. And I know it's easier said than done, but the way we can do it, it's by developing compassion, the element of compassion that we have within ourselves. And again, another thing that is easier said than done, depending also on your upbringing, what type of backgrounds that you came from, the family that you've been surrounded of, the friends that you've been, surrounding yourself with as well. Now, compassion is a thing that we all need within our lives, and that we all benefit, and we can also help other people being uplifted, feeling better, heal also within their madness, within their mind, their body. So compassion, love, and kindness are huge, and meditation is a way of actually activating those elements and helping spread it a little bit better and easier. So I hope that resonates with you. Meditation is, I don't talk about it often, but it's a huge part of my life. I've been studying, as I said, like around 2012, 2014, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I was meditating even at first, like trying to avoid all the thinking patterns that were happening in my mind. But that is the wrong way of meditating. Meditating is not to avoid who we are and what is going on within. In fact, meditation, especially the type of meditation technique that I use, Vipassana, is to observe objectively what is going on within, to really get to know yourself better, right? And this is some of the reasons why I absolutely love this technique. Well, before I get into why I love this technique, as I said, I used to do I used to use many other techniques, like I suppose transcendent, and techniques that were there to make me sort of try to avoid or to remove all the thoughts within my head. I mean, that is not possible. We can't remove the thoughts going through our mind. However, what we can do is, when we've got all those thoughts, especially if they are negative, if they are limiting, we can acknowledge them and then refocus our minds into something more positive. Okay, so that is what meditation can help. But I was using those techniques that were also using a lot of gimmicky stuff, like that, strategies such as heart breathing and focusing on something, a word, a mantra. And I'm not bashing any type of meditation, because they all kind of work. It's just that when using, I found myself, by experiencing it, by using something external, if you may, to focus on during the meditation, it only kind of works well for the surface type of issue within the mind. Okay, most of the time people are meditating to have a bit of a me time, a quiet time, to also have maybe to feel better, to be more in alignment, to be kinder to their family, their friends, their colleagues, their team members, their employees, their boss, clients, customers. And that is great. Yet when using something external, I found that it just works on the surface. It wasn't reaching the depth of my issue, of the negative stuff that my subconscious is working on, if you may, right? Like the forefront of my head would think positively, and in fact, but the subconscious would actually make me act otherwise. And what is interesting is that, going back to this course, to this technique, to this course that now I've been implementing since 2018. So I've changed, like about 4 years after I've started meditating. I came across, well, actually, um, 2012, 2014, I started meditating, and in 2016 I've been introduced to Vipassana when I was in Southeast Asia, from a friend that I've made there. And if you're here, Lena, if you see that, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate the introduction. And I saw my friend Lena coming to the hostel we were staying at. She went to do this course in Burma, where actually this is from. Well, it originated from India, but then the true pure technique has been nurtured and kept in Burma. And my friend Lena went there to do this course. And when she came after 10 days or so, I think she might have stayed for some volunteering as well over. And when she came, I just saw her face like so calm and peaceful, completely like fearless and confident, bright, shining, glowing. And I asked her, like, what happened? What happened there? What has been going on? Like, it almost looks like you're a complete different person. So calm, so content, so composed, yet so clear and eloquent. I mean, it was just a bliss to see her. And I was like, I wanted some of that. I was so unhappy and miserable. I was trying to tell myself otherwise, but I really know that when I was in Thailand, I was so miserable, even though people were telling me, oh, yeah, you're so positive. And yeah, because I had my gimmicky stuff, working on the surface of my mind. But within, I wasn't a happy person. I was looking for happiness outside of me, which is really already a hint when when you're telling yourself, like I was telling myself, uh, going to that place going to make me happy, making more money is gonna make me more happy, making new friends gonna make me more happy, working on this or that's gonna make me more happy, buying that hat is going to make me more happy, being in the sun versus the rain is gonna make me more happy. That is a hint that you're looking in the wrong place. Happiness is coming from within. And this is what I actually love about this technique that I'm using. Hey, Tony, nice to see you. This is what I love about this technique that I'm using, is that it works from within. You get to know yourself from within and stop looking for validations, um, tools externally that are going to make you happy. I'm not saying that tools externally cannot benefit from your happiness, right? I mean, like money definitely contributes towards happiness because we can do more, we can contribute more in the communities that we're in, we can have more getaways with our partner, husbands, whatever you call the person you love. We can impact the life of our families, our friends more. So money is a great contributor, yet it's not all. It has to start from within. And in fact, even any business is not going to make you any happier. If you're unhappy in whatever business you're in right now, and you're looking elsewhere, like the kind of shiny object syndrome situation that I used to have myself, then you're just gonna fall into another business. For 3 months you're gonna be happy, 3 to 6 months, and then misery is going to come back. You're going to see the negative stuff happening. Your subconscious is just going to look for the negative things, and the negative things that are going to make you blame them for your unsuccessful life, right? Whereas everything starts from within. And it really is that meditation technique that I use, Vipassana, is helping to see things as they are, to see things objectively and not as I would like them to be. Okay, I'm not saying that you don't want to create a vision board. I've got one right in front of me. That you don't want to set your goals. I actually set my 2022. If you've been following me, my 2022 for my promotional calendar is all set and ready. That's not what I mean, but it's like seeing things for what they are and being present, right? Like, if you have an argument with someone, then say it for what it is and also take responsibility for what is going on. And equally, when you have success, see it for what it is, but don't get too hypey. Like, be happy and be excited if you may, but yet remain balanced in your mind, right? This is what this technique is helping and teaching, is to remain balanced, to remain neutral within your emotions, not to be craving for success, or craving for money, craving for love, craving for chocolate, craving for whatever, and nor creating any aversion or rejections or hatreds towards anybody, any situation, anything, because that is what cravings and aversion or hatred is, what creates misery within your body. It's what creates all those pains, those inflammations, those mind thinking, mind patterns, right, that you are downloading into your subconscious. I hope I'm not losing you here. But bottom line is that meditation, at least this type of meditation, unlike the other ones that I've mentioned that are focusing on external things like a word, a mantra, an object, and all this, then this is really working from within. And what I love is that it is not sectarian. So like anyone from any background, like from any religious background, if you're religious, from any ethnicity, or actually coming to this meditation. It's nothing. So it's from, the teaching is from the coming from the words of Buddha, okay, but it's not Buddhism, okay, and that's why everyone from any type of religions are coming, and they can still practice their religion while using this technique called Vipassana in their daily life, which is a beautiful technique. So anyway, I said I was going to share with you some of my 10 days and overall, because there's lots more coming on, and I'm not going to go into the nitty gritty of the 10 days, right? As much as, although there has been like some really like clear moments, which was crazy. Like, look, as I said, I've started meditating back in 2012, 2014. In 2016, I've been introduced to this technique. Actually attending my first course with that technique in 2018, so 3 years ago, and I never looked back. I mean, I've used some other meditations actually last year, which were great. You know, it's good, but like, bottom line, this one is the one that helps me the most, because it's all about working from within with my natural senses, my natural breathing, and the sensations that goes into my body, and remaining balanced, or as it says within the course, equanimous, which is from the Greek, like equanimity is balance, neutral, okay? So you accept the things as they are, the pains, the good, beautiful sensations, and you just accept that they are coming, they are bound to arise, but they are also bound to go. And that is a reflection of what happens into your life as well, right? It's all in life, things are bound to happen, like bad situations, good situations. You know, you might have an argument with someone, but it's not going to be forever. And even love, you know, as much as I love my partner, for example, and you might love your husband, we might be with them for the entire life that we're living within this vehicle of our human body. Then death at some point is going to separate us. One is going to go first, and the other one's going to go second. Nothing is forever, even if the spirits maybe don't know up there, right? But they might be still connected, and we might, if you believe in the next life, they might meet in another life, whatever. But in this life, nothing is forever. Even love is separated at some point or another from one thing or another. Not that you're not gonna love that person anymore because they're gone, but the love is, you know, is there. Some people have redone their love life with another partner after, you know, losing their husband or partner from death, right? It happens. So and there's nothing wrong about this. There's nothing wrong about this, in my opinion, anyway. So, and by the way, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, then let me know. It is a wonderful technique, and it's funny that you should use this word, Tony, because the teacher who's passed away, and it's all recorded, and we've got assistant teachers during this course. When it goes in, like, it's noble silence every day, right? The concept is that it's a noble silence for 10 days. It's broken on the 10th day after for lunchtime, and then on the 11th day we can start having contact with the external world through our phones. And then, well, I stayed over for volunteering, as you know now, right? Yet the teacher named Goenka, Goenka. In his discourse every night, we've got a discourse every single night by him that is basically explaining the theory, if you may, and the science behind that technique, so you can understand beyond the experiential level. All right, so you can connect everything together. And so in his examples and his stories and all this, he would say, "Oh, wonderful. Oh, it is wonderful." And it's so funny the way he said it. It's very cute. Yes, that's right. Goenka, absolutely. Vipassana is the name of the of the technique and by Goenka, because Vipassana has been taught by a few other people, a few other wise people, yet Goenka has kept it in its purity, as pure as possible. So this is why, because some people would say, oh yeah, just go and do whatever you want after that. But it's like, you cannot say that, right? Because it's either you do it or you don't. Now, Vipassana teaches what? Morality, the mastery of your mind, of your own mind, and then wisdom. Essentially, these are the three precepts that Vipassana is teaching from within, from being in connection with your own senses and accepting the way it is and not as you would like it to be. So my 10 days overall, first, it was very different to the previous two times that I've attended it. One in 2018 for the first one, and second one in 2019. Last year obviously didn't happen for obvious reasons. And the first one I sat same course. Well, same course. It was in Spain actually, rather than in England. Just didn't want to put up with the whole traveling thing this year. But I went, and then for me it was like, and he says it, within one of these courses, it's like having a brain surgery, right? Like, because we are creating so much stories over the years, and we've been downloaded with so much even crap, stuff and crap from our upbringing, from our parents and the people we kind of connected with at some point throughout our life, and the things that we've done, and maybe the things we've consumed. Like, I've done drugs, I've done alcohol, I've done smoking, I've done all those things. And don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed my life, right? Although at some point it was a little bit, like concerning, but I've enjoyed my life, but I'm glad I came out. And when you go into this type of practice, practicing this type of meditation, then it's like it's a purification of the mind. You really go deep, and it's hard. It is hard. So I think the word retreat should actually be changed to maybe challenge meditation. I don't know, but it is challenging, yet it's so rewarding. It is so rewarding. Most of the time, the challenging things are actually the most rewarding. It's like entrepreneurship is so challenging, but it's so rewarding. Doing a workout at the gym can be so freaking challenging, yet you come out and you're like, oh geez, I look forward to the next one. But the next one comes and you're like, oh my god, I've got to do it again, right? So yeah, meditation, this meditation is very profound. It's very, like you said, Tony, it is very deep. It's you're really working at the core of yourself. And I tell you, most of the time, the second and the sixth day of that duration of 10 days, there are people leaving, but we do not recommend, right? Because this is the point. This is when actually you've got to face your stuff. So yeah, very different to the last previous times that I've attended it, because the first time it was like a brain surgery. I just came like, thankfully, and that's why I would recommend to anyone. Vipassana centers are all around the world, by the way. You can Google it. Again, Vipassana by Goenka. Let me know if you want the link. I'll put it in the comment otherwise. But the first year, I took an extra 2 weeks to kind of go around Spain, where I took the course. And I would recommend that to anyone and everyone, to take some extra time off. In fact, I was talking to some students this time around that were doing it for the first or second time, and they agreed. The second time around, I actually served. What that means is that I was not fully sitting as a student, like 10, 11 hours of meditation a day, but I was a server, like volunteering to serve the course, to serve the students, what implementing the practice, what that means is that, in the kitchen and everywhere else with the other volunteers, we have to communicate at a minimum, right? Like, do this and do that. But we've got to be very mindful and careful not to disturb the students. So when we go into the students area, whether it's the canteen, the rooms where they're sleeping and all that, we've got to be quiet, right? And also, in the kitchen, although that's the best kitchen ever to work in, if you're volunteering in those kitchens, because it's not like the kitchens you would find in the regular world. And as a pastry chef from my very first job at the age of 14 for 6 years, I can tell you a little bit more about kitchens. And they're not pretty, they're not sexy, they're very hard, they're very harsh, very not peaceful at all. But there, you still have, some kind of tension. But because you're in the environment of this meditation center, we are practicing what we are preaching and what we're being taught. So it's embodying the whole thing. So the second time I did volunteer, I was there for 10 days and it was beautiful. But when I came out, I came straight back to London instead of going away a little bit. And I was like zoned out completely, not in a bad way. I was like still like, if you may, digesting the whole thing, processing the whole thing, but to the point where my partner and one of our friends said, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you gonna come back?" And I was so peaceful that even their fear were not reaching out to me. I was like, yeah, I'm good, but it wasn't penetrating into me because I was just, like up there. Now, this third time, I was really, really agitated during the whole course. My mind was like, whoa, especially for the first 4 days, and then it calmed down. But I was even at the end of it, I was ready to talk again immediately, to come back even, but I still stayed over for a few days. And actually, even when I came back, I felt that, I'm so like on a different level of frequency, very aware, very cool and calm. But, you know, I don't feel, what's the word, like, my anxiety is not here. I don't feel nervous. I don't feel like super agitated. I'm very well in control of this, social media and that. So I don't know. I just feel content. But I suppose because it's the third time and I've got a little bit more experience and I know what to expect and I'm just taking to the next level. Just like when you take a course, and if you take that course again, then, or you go to a seminar and you go to the same seminar again several times, you'll get a new learning from it, right? And then you will even hear it in a different way. The things that you've heard, you might take it from a different angle because you've grown through the process since last time. You will hear things, even if it's the exact same presentation recorded and all this, you'll hear things that you haven't heard the previous time. So yeah, so it is, it was very interesting and I absolutely loved it. Now, I also had a few aha moments, like each and every single day. I remember perfectly well what happened. As the two previous times, it was kind of like a blur, but I knew I had so much shifts and growth and like a big surgery that happened from within, kind of thing, right? But this time I remember things like really perfectly well, and I had some aha moments, and one of them, which, stay tuned because there will be some non-profit stuff that I'm going to bring out. I'll give you a hint. Anyway, let me know if you guess. Yeah, anyway, and so another thing that I've gotten from this is that I'm really determined to bring that practice. I already kind of used to do that, but on another level, to bring it into my business practice, to my clients, to my audience, to everyone that I'm actually encounter. Mindfulness has very much always been part of me, but meditation and this kind of work has been really deep with me, and I think it can really impact people, and it's important for me anyway, to make other people feel good. And I've seen it with a few of my clients when I do some meditation, like a basic of meditation, which is part of this practice that I use. They feel good. My mom, who lives with schizophrenia and depression and all this, I've told her to use this technique, and I mean, the beginning of this technique, which is just the breathing technique with your natural flow of the breathing, and then she feels so much better, so much more focused. And that's my mom, with living with such a mental illness. So that kind of speaks volume, right? I'm not saying that it cures anything, and I'm not claiming any of that, but it really, really helps. So what are some of my faves? Let me see if there's any question first. It would be a transition back to real life. Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I'm telling you, like, I spoke to a few other students that were going back immediately. And when I was telling them I'm staying and this, and oh my God, yeah, next year. Whoa. Because from this, like, people are like, yeah, I'm coming back next year. Like, there's no other way. And they're like, yeah, but I'll get ready in a different way. I'll make sure that I've got some more time off. And yeah, definitely recommend that, because you want to be, you want to have some time to process everything. You want to have some time to understand what had just happened to you, right? And how you can actually incorporate it into your life, and if it actually really resonates with you and what you've learned about yourself in the process. So some of my favorite things from this course is, well, first, the complete silence each and every single time, right? Disconnecting from this all crazy, noisy world that we're living in, especially with like social media and phones. And although my notifications are down, I don't have notifications apart from WhatsApp, which is mostly for family. Yet everything is down, and although I still was like, before going, I was like, my head was about to kind of explode, and I was really feeling that this tension and complete, always on. And I think it was a blessing last year that I couldn't attend, because it really allowed me to take my business to the next level and connect with this wonderful community that I'm part of with Tony, actually, and absolutely adore. And as I said, like, I don't know if you were here, Tony, because you were one of those people. At the beginning of this Facebook Live, I said thank you so much, like, for reaching out, because a few of you, including you, I've been reaching out and saying, hey, how's it going? I haven't seen any of your posts for a while. I know your course was finished, and I'm worrying. So what's going on? Let me know. So I'm so grateful. And the welcoming today was pretty much the first wake-up call that I was tuning in since my return. And I mean, the welcoming was just great. Like, people that know you and see you on a regular basis, usually they're like, oh, hey, nice to see you, and nice connecting again. And so I don't have any other community, even in the network marketing business that I am in. Although it's a lovely community, it's really nice, very, dynamic and all this. Nobody, literally nobody came and asked me how I was. And I mean, there's like a person that, because I'm already friends, and I invited her for lunch and all this, so she was like, yeah, have a good time over there. But otherwise, nobody else, like, came and say, hey, how's it going, right? And nothing wrong with that. There's, I think it's fine. It's not, mid-entry, but it always feels good to be acknowledged in some way, shape, or form. So yeah, the complete silence was great. No gimmicky with this technique. This is what I love, absolutely adore, because it's all about the natural breathing. And I'll share with you very shortly about this. And it's all also what I really was attracted to from the get-go when I've been introduced to this course, this technique, is that the course is entirely based on donations and volunteering, meaning that you're going to this course for 10 days, and it's work, right? You're working hard on you. The schedule is waking up by the gong at 4:30 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, and then you go to bed at 9. At night, they light off they switch off the lights. but throughout the day you meditate a lot, 10 to 11 hours, not straight. Obviously you've got breaks and stuff, but it's a lot of work, it's hard work, right? Yet during those 10 days you are greeted, you are fed, you are accommodated completely free of charge. And then at the end, yes, you can do a donation, but it's not like they're not coming at you saying, hey, have you donated yet? Hey, do you know so and so donated already, so are you going to donate? How much are you going to donate? Oh, you don't, are you sure you don't want to give anymore? No, the stand is there. And if you want to give, then it's up to you, right? And that is also part of the growth. The more you give, the more you receive. And believe me, when you've been fed really good food on top of that, and you've been accommodated in, they say we're not supposed to be in luxurious type of accommodation, but I mean, let me tell you, it's not bad at all, right? And so actually I'll share some pictures, in the next few days, like tomorrow. But all donations based, all volunteering based from the top. There's no like a big man on top who's putting all the money to run the thing. Everything, or even the committees, are actually based on volunteering, right? Everything is volunteering and donations, and that is what for me makes it even purer. Okay, it is a non-profit from top to bottom and everything in between. And what I loved about this period every single year is that also I put my business on automation, and that is always an exciting part of it all, because I'm like so excited to be able to provide the value, the content that my audience wants to grow their business and themselves, and though still being able to do that while being away from everything and being on automation. And in fact, when the noble silence is broken as well, we all like, oh yeah, but it's like, oh my god, all people are like talking. Usually women, or I remember my very first course, usually we say women, they're the one talking in the toilets, and oh, the makeup and this, oh, and this, oh, your bag, it looks so great, and this, Let me tell you that after 10 days of noble silence, guys in the toilet, and I've seen it with my own eyes and heard it with my own ears, guys in the toilets are worse than women. Like talking, like singing, like birds, and talking like you never seen any guys talking. Like, I mean, I'm talking like dudes, right? Like dudes with muscles and straight guys, and it's like, it's crazy. It really is crazy. So like when we talk and we start having conversations, what do you do in this, natural conversations. And now I mean, the point in my business and in my development as well is that I don't prospect people in person, right? If it happens that they are interested, it happens naturally. And yes, I've got my way of talking. I've learned how to plant seeds, and to be a smart marketer, and all this. But I really don't prospect outside of the online world, because I've got all my fishing pools in online, right? So I want to connect. I mean, I'm connecting online, but I just want to make, like, I just want to be free of all this when I'm outside, although I love what I do. So naturally, conversations will go towards that. But when people ask me what I do, oh, yeah, I'm a marketing coach, and I do social media management as well for businesses, helping people to market themselves and monetize their brand, whatever they want to do. And for the business wannabe or entrepreneurs wannabe, I show them some ideas, or help them develop their ideas to be monetized as well. And I've got people telling me, oh my god, like I've got one who told me this time around, I've got to get your number because my girl is a yoga teacher, and she's got content and stuff, but she needs to actually monetize the whole thing, and put it on automation as well. because that's also something I love talking about, saying, yeah, I'm glad because my business is still running while I'm here. I don't have to worry about it. It's all automated. And people click with that. So that's really an aspect that I absolutely love and have fun using every year. Um, Always get something new out of it, aka growth. Like this year, especially in the discourse, obviously within the meditation, with myself, with the sensation, remaining equanimous or balanced, if you may, not reacting to the unpleasant or very pleasant sensations. um, and within the discourse, like I said earlier, when you're listening to something, even if it's recording and it's exactly the same words, there are things that you haven't heard and some that you've heard, but you're now hearing them differently. Okay. And, another aspect is that it's meeting people, like minded people. Obviously, it's always great to be with people that are believing the same thing as you believe in and you can connect with on that level. So yeah. Now, I just want to do a quick. I know we've been like 45 minutes, but I'm kind of glad to be. I'm happy to be back and sharing that time with you. But I want to do a quick 2 minutes, little meditation with you. Okay, obviously, we're not gonna go into the depth of this technique, right? That's a whole course. You can go and look out for it. Let me know if you want the details. I can send you the link. Um, and and then this technique, at the beginning, starts with what's called Anapana. Okay, Anapana is all about the breathing. This is really to calm the mind down and to make sure that you're refocusing as well and you sharpen your mind further and further and further. Okay, so to do that, it is really focusing your breath in and out of your nostrils and just looking at it objectively. You know, if it's coming from in or out of the right nostril, then it's coming from the right nostril. If it's in the left nostril, then it's in the left nostril. And then focusing on, if you can, on the very small area here, feeling the air. You might not feel it the very first times. You might have to practice a little bit more. Um, and then eventually, on top of your lip and just in the middle here. But the more you'll do it and the more you practice that, then that's going to sharpen your mind further and further because this is the very small part. Okay. And so when you're focusing on a very little part of your body, then your mind is sharpening itself. Okay. So, we're just gonna practice this like for a couple of minutes, a minute or so. So if you close your eyes, put your hands on your laps, and take a breath in and out. And again, as I say, it's nothing gimmicky, nothing unnatural, except if you feel that you're feeling drowsy and falling asleep within your meditation, you can use um, conscious respiration. So like to really feel it a little bit more. And maybe if you don't feel the respiration at first, the breathing on top of your lip, then you can use hard breathing for a couple of times or so. But then come back to your natural breathing. It's all about being natural, nothing gimmicky. And if you have some thoughts coming through, then acknowledge, but refocus to the breath. You might have some sensation around the body. Focus back onto your breathing. And again, if you don't feel the breathing on top of your lips through your nostrils, maybe have a couple of 2 or 3 hard breathing and come back to your natural breathing. So, and just by doing this, you can open your eyes when you're ready. But just by doing this, you, hey Emily, nice to see you. Um, by doing this, how do you feel right now? Just by this, like couple of minutes, you might have felt something. You might have not. You know, I mean, surely you have felt something. Maybe either the breathing through your nostrils, you have acknowledged something. Maybe you felt that your brain is very activated, agitated, lots of thoughts, and you had difficulties to actually focus on your breathing right out of your nostrils and above your lip. Um, or maybe you feel a bit more serene already after 2 minutes. For me, it works because I meditate like now, like even 3 times a day. Um, I used to do like two times a day, morning and evening. Then I reduced to morning. Then I came back to morning and evening, but I was doing it 15 minutes instead of an hour. And now I'm back to an hour, evening and morning. And then I've added like a half an hour in the afternoon as a break, to like rejuvenate from the craziness of the work in the morning, and to be able to go back into my work and connect with people on a high level of energy and mindfulness in the afternoon. And then I soothe down and calm down with a meditation at night again. So I'm ready to wind down from the whole madness and whatever, the blue light, and be able to give some attention and love and care to my boyfriend without all the craziness in my thoughts. Um, any questions, anything that you want to say, anything that you felt, anything that you maybe resonated with, anything that you are wondering? I felt my breath, but I also felt more centered. Nice. Yeah, nice. I love that. Love that. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the point, it's like being centered. And I feel that you've got a really nice energy already, Tony, like very composed, and you've got a lot of wisdom. I do feel so. um you're welcome. Pleasure. And so let me see. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to feel to share with you today. I know it's been a longer Facebook live or YouTube live or whatever. But yeah, the next step, for me, is to share a little bit more of some of that goodness, wisdom, mindfulness with you guys on a regular basis through my marketing. Actually, one of the aha moments, not haha moment, but aha moment that I had in my 10 days is that uh, I'm going to develop a method, like, mindful marketing methods that is really embodying all this together, because marketing is awesome, it's fun, it's great, it's enriching, it's elevating, it's accelerating. Yet, I sometimes, it can be easily, except if you're a part of a great community like we are. But if it can, you can see like things out there that are a bit sneaky, a bit and it's, again, I'm not bashing people. Sometimes do things out of ignorance, people do things out of illness, within themselves. They are hurting themselves by wanting to hurt other people if they do it consciously, like doing scam stuff or whatever. So bringing mindfulness in marketing is definitely one of my aim, and I hope that it will serve you, um, you know, in some way, shape, or form. So, on that note, thank you so much for being around, Tony. I really appreciate your presence, Emily, as well, for popping on, and every single one of you will be watching live, or maybe some of it live. And I look forward to connect with you again on the next Facebook Live, on the new post that I'm going to come. I'm back, and yeah, lots of love, lots of goodness to you, lots of kindness, lots of success, and yeah, love yourself. Love yourself. I love you.